Welcome back to AI in Action. Ready for a deep dive?
Always.
Today, we're going deep into EcoWise AI.
Really fascinating stuff.
It's this platform using AI to tackle climate change, like actually predict environmental disasters.
And prevent them, even. It's pretty amazing what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're getting incredible results, like their predictions, way more accurate than traditional methods. We're talking a 20% increase.
Huge difference.
Huge. But before we get into all that, let's make sure everyone's on the same page. What exactly is EcoWise AI tackling?
So think about climate change. It's unpredictable. Floods, wildfires, droughts, they're happening more often. And they're more intense. We've got all this data, satellite imagery, weather patterns, all the historical records.
Tons of information.
Tons. And we can use it to get ahead of these events, predict them, prepare for them. But the problem is, it's just too much for humans to process.
It's overwhelming.
Totally. And that's where EcoWise AI comes in.
Fills the gap. So break it down for us. How does it actually work?
Okay, so at its core, EcoWise AI uses machine learning.
Like deep learning.
Exactly. Deep learning. It lets the platform process all that data, find those complex patterns.
And make predictions.
Exactly. About what might happen in the environment.
You mentioned a 20% increase in accuracy. That's got to be a game changer.
Absolutely.
What does that actually look like in the real world? Give us a concrete example.
Okay, so imagine EcoWise predicts a major flood in a coastal region, let's say. With that early warning, authorities can jump into action, they can evacuate residents, they can reinforce infrastructure.
Get those emergency resources in place.
Right, all before the flood hits.
It's incredible.
It is.
So it's not just about reacting to disasters, it's about getting ahead of them.
Yeah.
What's the reaction been like to EcoWise AI? Are people excited?
Oh, definitely. There's a real buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of positive feedback. Environmentalists, scientists, even policymakers are on board. People are really starting to see the potential here. This could revolutionize how we approach conservation.
We actually have a quote here
Yeah.
from Dr. Clara Novak, as top environmental scientist. She calls EcoWise AI a game changer.
She's right.
She says it turns raw data into actionable knowledge for conservation. I love that phrase. Actionable knowledge. What does that actually mean? In the context of EcoWise, I mean.
So it means the platform isn't just giving us theories, it's giving us information we can actually use to do something.
To take action. Right.
So, for example, let's say EcoWise identifies an area, high risk of deforestation, right? It can actually give specific recommendations to the local communities, to authorities, about how to manage that land.
So they can prevent that deforestation.
Exactly.
It's not just sounding the alarm, it's offering solutions. And I imagine that kind of targeted approach is really important, tailoring it to each specific location.
Absolutely. And that's one of the best things about EcoWise, its adaptability.
It can be customized.
Exactly. You can customize it for different regions. So it takes into account the local environment, the socioeconomic factors, even cultural sensitivities.
This is where I start thinking big picture. If we can adapt EcoWise for different regions globally, what could that mean?
It's huge.
Could this be a model for a more sustainable future?
I think it could be. It's a tool that could help us manage resources better, protect biodiversity, build resilience to climate change, and we can do it all over the world.
That's powerful. But with all that potential comes responsibility, right? I mean, we need to be careful with this technology.
Of course.
Make sure it's used ethically.
Absolutely. You're right. Powerful technology always brings ethical considerations.
So what are some of those for EcoWise AI, I mean?
Well, data privacy is a big one.
Makes sense.
EcoWise relies on so much data, and some of it could be sensitive, so we have to make sure that data is protected. People's privacy needs to be respected.
It's crucial. We don't want people to be afraid to share data because they're worried about how it might be used.
Right, exactly. Transparency and accountability are key here. People need to know how their data is being used, and they need to trust that it's being used responsibly.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we use it, the ethics behind it.
Exactly. We need to develop some clear guidelines, best practices, for how we develop and use AI in environmental conservation.
Like building a set of guardrails to make sure this powerful technology is used for good.
That's a great way to put it. And to build those guardrails, we need to work together.
Elaborate.
Yeah. Get scientists, policymakers, ethicists involved, and the public, too.
Makes sense. If we want EcoWise to benefit everyone, we need to make sure everyone has a say in how it's developed.
Absolutely. Ethical AI isn't just about avoiding harm. It's about making sure it's fair, just sustainable.
I like that. So we're going beyond just the technical stuff here. We're getting into social impact, responsibility.
We are. AI is a reflection of our values. And as we integrate it into our lives, we need to be aware of its potential, both the good and the bad.
Use our intelligence, human and artificial.
Exactly, to create a better future for everyone.
So before we move on, how do you think EcoWise is already changing how we think about the environment?
Well, I think it's shifting our focus.
From what to what?
From reacting to preventing. It's letting us get proactive about conservation, anticipate problems, make more informed decisions about how we manage our planet.
That's pretty remarkable. And we've covered so much already. How EcoWise works, the success it's seeing. We even touched on those ethical considerations. But we've only just scratched the surface.
There's so much more to explore.
And we will. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll dig even deeper into the potential and the challenges of this groundbreaking technology.
You know what really gets me about EcoWise AI? It's like pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible in environmental conservation.
It's a whole new era, data-driven decisions, but I bet that comes with challenges too.
Right. Of course. I mean, data access is huge.
Getting the right data.
Yeah. And the quality of that data. EcoWise AI, it uses massive amounts of data from all over.
Yeah.
Satellites, weather stations, sensor networks, all of it.
And it's got to be good data.
It has to be. If you want accurate predictions, we're talking about predicting environmental events. The stakes are high.
Really high. So we need to be sure that data is good, accurate, up to date.
And it needs to reflect the real world, what's actually happening out
But
there.
how do we make that happen? Better data collection?
That's part of it. We need better sensors, better monitoring systems, and better ways to share that data. But it's also about changing how we think about data.
Like how so?
We need to move away from, like, hoarding data.
Keeping it all for ourselves.
Yeah. We need to be more open, share data, collaborate.
Makes sense. If everyone's keeping their data secret, it's not helping anyone.
Exactly. We need a system where data can flow, securely, of course, so researchers and these AI systems can access it.
So they can make the best predictions possible.
I can-
Okay, that makes sense. But even with perfect data, there's still technical challenges, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, all that data, processing it, analyzing it, it's a ton of work.
It's a huge computational challenge. Even with all the advancements, machine learning, cloud computing, analyzing environmental data, it's resource intensive because it's just so complex.
Sounds like we're pushing the limits of what's possible technologically.
We are, and that's why research is so important.
Got to keep innovating.
We have to refine those algorithms, find more efficient ways to process data, explore new technologies, like combining AI with remote sensing or high-performance computing. It's really exciting stuff.
So it's not just about a better AI. It's about the whole system.
The whole technological ecosystem. And to do that, we need everyone working together. Computer scientists, environmental scientists, engineers, even policymakers.
Get everyone on board.
Yeah.
You mentioned ethical considerations earlier. Can you talk about that a bit more? What does that look like with EcoWise AI?
Sure. So data privacy, that's a big one, like we talked about.
Yeah.
EcoWise uses a lot of data, and some of that data, it could be sensitive. So we need to make sure it's anonymized, protected. We have to respect people's privacy.
That's essential. We don't want people to be afraid to share information because they don't know how it's going to be used.
Right. People need to understand how their data is being used.
Yeah.
And they need to know it's being used responsibly.
So transparency is key.
It is. And accountability.
It's not just about the tech. It's about the ethics.
Exactly. We need guidelines, best practices for AI in environmental conservation.
It's like we need guardrails to make sure this power is used for good, not for harm.
Exactly. And to create those guardrails, we need everyone at the table, scientists, policymakers, ethicists, and the public, all of them.
It's about inclusivity.
It is. Ethical AI isn't just about avoiding harm. It's about being fair, being just, making sure it benefits everyone sustainably.
We're talking about social impact here.
We are, because AI, it's a reflection of us, of our values.
As a society.
Yeah. And as we bring AI into our lives, we need to be mindful of its potential, both good and bad.
We need to be smart about this.
We do.
So how do you think EcoWise AI is changing how we approach the environment, like right now,
Well, I think it's pushing us to be more proactive.
instead of reactive?
Yeah. It's about anticipating problems, not just reacting to them, and making decisions, informed decisions about how we take care of our planet.
It's a pretty big shift.
It is.
We've covered so much. It's amazing how EcoWise works, the challenges, the potential. It's incredible.
It really is.
But there's still more to explore. Right?
Oh, definitely. So much more.
All right. Well, In the next part of our deep dive, we'll keep going. We'll look at the innovations and the possibilities of AI in environmental conservation. Welcome back to AI in Action. We've been talking about EcoWise AI,
Fascinating stuff.
how it works, the challenges, the potential.
Huge potential.
Huge. But now I want to look ahead.
To the future.
Yeah. What's next? What are the possibilities?
Well, AI is already changing conservation, but it's also like opening doors to things we never even thought of before.
I like that. Give me an example. What kind of cool stuff is coming?
All right, so imagine this. AI-powered drones monitoring rainforests for illegal logging,
Makes sense.
but not just monitoring. They can identify the trees, see if they're healthy.
Using image recognition.
Exactly. And even plant new seeds.
Wow. So they're like little guardians of the forest.
That's a great way to put it.
What else?
Okay, how about this? Robots.
Robots.
Yeah. Cleaning up the oceans.
Cleaning up plastic.
Exactly. Collecting the plastic, but also figuring out where it's coming from.
So we can stop it at the source.
Right.
That's amazing. It's like we're giving the planet a way to heal itself
Kind of, yeah.
with technology.
We are. And it's not just applying what we already know. There's new stuff coming up too, like reinforcement learning.
Okay. I don't know that one.
So imagine an AI that learns from the environment. It adapts.
Smarter.
Yeah. And it gets better at protecting the environment.
So these AI systems, they're almost like they're alive, evolving.
Yeah, they're getting there. It's pretty amazing.
So we could create AIs that manage ecosystems, balance everything, even adapt to climate change.
That's the idea.
It's incredible. We're not just reacting anymore, we're being proactive, finding solutions before there's a problem.
Exactly. And it's not just about the AI. It's about humans and AI working together.
Like a partnership.
Right. We can use AI to help us understand things better, to give us the tools we need, to protect the planet.
It's like having a super smart assistant, analyzing all that data, suggesting solutions.
That's a good analogy.
What about communication? Can AI help us get the message out about the environment?
Definitely. Think about data visualization. AI can create these immersive experiences, help people connect with nature.
Make it more real.
Exactly, more relatable. Because if you want people to act, you need to make it personal. And AI can help us do that.
So it's not just scientists anymore
No.
or policymakers. It's everyone.
Everyone needs to be involved.
And AI can help with that.
It can. Give people access to information, empower them, help them understand their role in protecting the planet.
That shared responsibility.
It's crucial. The choices we make today, they affect everyone, all of us, and the generations after us.
That's a powerful thought.
It is. But it's also hopeful, you know? We
Wow.
have the technology, the ideas, the will to make a difference. And with AI, we can do even more. Create a future where everyone thrives. People and nature.
This has been amazing.
It has.
Learning about EcoWise AI, the future of conservation, it's inspiring.
It is.
Thank you for joining us on AI in Action.
It's been a pleasure being here.
And for everyone listening, if you want to learn more, follow @AI for the People.
They have so many great stories about AI making a difference.
Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep believing in the power of, well, us to make a better future.
We can do it.